and welcome to PAM Time, an inspirational and educational show featuring the performing arts. That's music, dance, drama, art, but most of all, it's fun. I'd like to welcome you tonight for a great show on the ins and outs of the radio industry as well as the entertainment industry with Jack George. So come celebrate the arts with PAM Time.
Out the window pane, reality was staring at me between the sky and the trees. But I don't care which way the day goes down. It's a great way to follow my footsteps across the ever-shifting ground. I don't know where I'm going. Some friends of mine, a girl that I kinda know asked for my pen. She said she wanted to draw a map to a place that didn't exist just then. So I gave it to her with the promise that when she gets there she'd look for me again. I don't know where I'm going. Crawl back into bed, wait for sleep to come, to follow the road inside my head. I don't know where I'm going, I don't know where I've been, but I know when I get there, I'll turn around and start again and again. I don't know where I'm again.
thine eyes. It's Pam Murphy once again, and you're watching PAM Time. So we're going to give the show over to Jack George. Let's hear what he's got to say about the radio industry and the television industry. Let's all learn. It's PAM Time.
Ways to get your music now. Yeah. Radio is kind of like, it's trying to reinvent itself. What my company is doing is we are blogging all the time, and we're linking it up to our Facebook account, where, oh look, there's a story about this artist getting in trouble. Oh, by the way, they own a radio station. I can stream them online and hear what they're saying. Or you can, I mean, when I first started radio, the only way you could listen to my station is tune the radio dial-up. Now we broadcast to the world. You know, that wasn't happening in 1990. Now you can get any radio station you want, just about, except North Korea or Iran. I don't think they broadcast too well or offer internet. I don't think we stream there, but I think we stream everywhere else on planet Earth. But you have so many ways to get your music offerings: Pandora, Spotify, satellite radio with Sirius XM. You have any YouTube? I mean, you can go MTV. It used to stand for music television when I was growing up. I can't find one music video on there right now.
In the morning they do it.
Oh. Great, when I'm having a bowl of cereal. I want to watch Taylor Swift. They do have another channel called Palladia. I don't know if anybody's aware of that channel. But they broadcast music videos in the morning, and it's all concerts from like 10 a.m. on. It's great. Live concerts from England and Ireland and the Americas. And I was watching Adele the other night do her show at Royal Albert Hall. It was awesome. What was the other concert I was watching? Oh, the Glastonbury Festival, which is a popular festival in England. And they get like musicians here and there in every format, and it's like an all-day thing. So I was watching Taylor Swift, and the next artist was like Dave Matthews Band. I was like, wow, there's a plethora of, but you know what, if you like music, that's probably what's on your iPod in rotation. And shuffle, I have shuffle it on all the time. You'd be scared of what is actually on my iPod. It's not what you think. It is the artist I play, but there's also Anya. Does anybody know who Anya is? One does. That's good. She's a Gaelic singer. Very soothing, very Irishy. I have Frank Sinatra on my iPod. I have Tony Bennett. I grew up, my father, in my family, my father was a musician. My mother was a sports fan. Still a diehard Brooklyn Dodger fan, Boston Celtics. That's my mom. My father was a musician. He had his own band. Unfortunately, I lost him when I was 9 years old. He died of cancer. He was a World War II veteran. So I was thinking about him on Veterans Day, which just passed. And my grandpa, he was in World War I. He was mustard gas. They were in the fighting with the Austrians and the Hungarians out in Europe. And when he came back home, he didn't live too long because of the effects of mustard gas. Unfortunately, I never got to meet my grandfather. But in the short time I had my father, he was a musician. So on the weekends, he would go with his band and play bar mitzvahs, wedding anniversaries, weddings, sweet 16s, you name it. And then on Sunday, he was able to spend a lot of time with me because he was making extra money. It was funny, though. One day, I'm 7 years old. So, like, the first music I ever listened to was big band music. And then I moved on to disco. We all make mistakes, right? So my dad comes up to me and goes, hey, what is this? Who are the Bee Gees? I'm like, oh, you mean Staying Alive? Night Fever? You know. He's like, yeah, somebody asked for it. I'm like, what is this? You know. And I had my 45s back then. Don't ask me what a 45 is.
What's a 45?
What's that?
What's a 45?
It's a record. It's a record. It's a record speed. It's a short little... What's that size?
It's like a CD, but larger.
Yeah, it's a CD a little bit bigger,
And it's black.
and it's vinyl, and it only plays one song on one side.
Do they know
Flip it
what a
over,
CD is?
and there's
I'll
side
have to
B.
bring one in.
Yeah, bring one in. But I had a lot of 45s. I was my own DJ back in the day. You know, I wanted to do that since I was like 7 or 8 years old. I won a radio at Seaside Heights, New Jersey, on the boardwalk, and an 8-track player with the Grease soundtrack. I know, it was just still popular today. One of the other jobs I do, I DJ at Quinn's Pins in Middletown. We do jackpot bowling every Saturday night. We have music videos that we play on big, like screens like that, bigger, and there's like 8 of them spread out over 20 lanes. And I can play just about anything that the server has. And one of the most popular ones is the Grease Mega Mix, or the Cha-Cha Slide. There's a video for that. YMCA, too. Don't Stop Believin'. I got the live version. And we got Taylor, we got Megan, we got Pitbull, we got it all. So if you want a little fun, come and see me Saturday nights, so we'll entertain you. Trust me on that. Also, the Cotton Eye Joe. There's a video for that, too. The funny thing about them, the group Rednecks, they're not even American. They're Swedish. Well, let's see. There's bands, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the band Asia or Europe.
Yes.
Well, there's no member from Asia that lives on the continent of Asia. They're British. Europe, they're Scandinavian. They're not even from Europe. They're from Sweden. So, at least the band Boston is actually from Boston. So, you know, there's a lot of intricacies about music that you can find on the internet, you know, and that's the kind of research I do when I do my show. You know, I had a lot of influences growing up, but, you know, the one person, one of my bosses told me, don't sound like anybody else on the radio. Try to not emulate them, but take a piece of them. So I listened to many stations in the city and around here and many DJs, and, you know, I took a piece of him and him and him and him, and I formulated and added my sarcasm, and you got me. Sorry. But, you know, I have a lot of fun. I like to give music notes to the songs, because on PDH you're listening to history. It's the history of rock 101.5. That's how I start my show. And there's a lot of history in all the songs that we play. Tons.
I'd like to thank Jack George for joining us here and filling us in on the radio industry as well as television.
I didn't even need to use the mic.
And I know I was very, very impressed. How did you decide to actually start to become a DJ?
Like
Did you have one incident that
Well, I
sparked
won a
you?
radio at Seaside Heights, and I loved the radio, and I loved everybody talking to me. Like, they knew who I was, and they were playing the songs I liked. So, I brought that back home, and got turntables, bought some 45s, pretended I was doing my own radio show in my room. This is like 7 years old, 8 years old. And then I would do
Wow, that
play-by-play watching the game on TV. So,
So did you have to study any kind of music at school, or, because, you know, to me...
no,
do you need
not
to-
really.
How do you know, like, when I talked to you about musical terminology, did you have to do your homework on that?
Oh, yeah. I'm not a music genius at all. I can't play an instrument,
But you love music.
not much. But
So you found an avenue to bring it to other people.
yeah, like I said, this goes back to my father being a musician and bringing me up on all kinds of formats, different styles of music over the years. And, you know, and I grew to a liking. I listened to everything I could, but like I said, there's certain artists that just clicked with me. You know, I'm not proud that I liked disco at one point. I'm still
There's
embarrassed.
nothing wrong with that, you know. Air Supply.
Yeah, Air Supply is not disco. Air Supply is music. They go to
See,
bed
to
to.
each his own, though. That's what's so neat about.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Gag. What poetry.
How do you deal with an opinionated caller?
Oh, if I could record, I wish I recorded every phone caller I ever had. I could make comedy albums.
You could.
And nobody would believe me.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm sure we would. We've heard them.
All right, I'll give you an instance. Now,
Sure.
before the advent of internet, websites, getting your snow closing information was by the radio station.
Oh, yes.
And over the years, I worked overnight, so if it was snowing, they would start calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning on the hotline. Well, we had bizarre passwords, and they were all the same. Now they're not. Everybody's got their own unique password for when they call in. But back then, when I was taking the calls, like one year the password was Snowflake. One year it was Honolulu. Right? So I know the password.
I've
So-
gotten those sheets of paper here.
Yeah, my favorite was Sister Paracleta from St. John's in Goshen. Bless her soul, she's not with us. But she would call me. I wish I was taping her. Hello, this is Sister Paracleta. St. John's in Goshen, as opposed to St. John's somewhere else. Good morning, sister. How are you? Fine. St. John's is closed today. God bless you. Click. I'm like, nuns. Oh. My mom warned me about nuns. But I'm telling the story, my mom's laughing like, ha ha ha, she got you, ha ha ha. But, you know, so that's a funny one. You know, my other favorite
Basically,
was,
click. Is,
click. She hung up on me.
oh, she hung up on you.
Yeah, I didn't hang up on her.
Okay, there you go.
I don't hang up on a nun. That's not right.
I wouldn't either.
Another time was, this guy called up, he was all paranoid. He's like, can you tell me if this school's closed? And I said, well, we just read the announcements. We're going to read them again in 10 minutes. So get by your radio, because I have to, you know, I have sheets here. I have
The
to.
entire list, you'd have to go.
Well, now it's a computer program. It just tells you automatically.
Yeah.
The guy's like, oh, well, I don't have a radio. Oh, you don't have a radio? Oh, but no clock radio? No, my radio's frozen. Why did you leave it outside? Who leaves the radio outside in a blizzard? I don't know. I'm sorry. All right, what's your school? Middletown. They're closed. Have a good day.
You know, I love the fact that you bring comfort. You were talking about music and how you related to it.
Mhm.
You bring comfort to people who listen to music. And that's one thing I love about your trade.
You will not find two people who have the same exact music collection on their iPods or in their house. It is
Exactly.
impossible. Everybody has different tastes. You have to broadcast and entertain a general audience, which is why the music is what we play. We can't go really into a deep cut unless it's like special programming. We have to play the songs that test positive, people know and enjoy and have enjoyed over the years. That's PDH. The other stations that have different formats, it's a little different. But, you know, knowing who you're talking to is so important. I always think of just one person when I talk to them. So when I crack the mic and it comes on and I start saying 101.5 WPDH, the home of rock and roll, I'm thinking of one person, because usually there's only one person in the car and they're listening closely, as opposed to if there's 3 or 4 in the car, I'm background noise. You're having a conversation amongst yourselves about why was Jenny so bad at school today? Did you see the outfit that she wore? You know, Mark Sanchez. Why did the Jets get rid of Mark Sanchez? You know, whatever the conversation is, I'm background noise. Why did the Devils move to Newark? The question I have.
You're
Devil
supposed
fan.
to know the answer. All right, Jack.
Anything else?
No, I'm gonna. I guess. Is there anything you'd like to add? To sum it all up, I guess.
In conclusion.
Yes, please.
All right, SUNY Orange. In conclusion.
Your PAM time.
The one thing is, if anybody does want to do some kind of broadcasting, I highly recommend college. It's so hard to just come right out of high school and do it. Also, if you're going to do a career in music, you're going to do a career in drama, light theater, whatever the case may be, having something to fall back on in case things don't turn out the way they do is always essential. Yes, that's my favorite.
I'd like to thank you for coming tonight and for sharing your expertise. We'd love to have you back and learn more. I know there's so much about this industry we'd all like to know.
There's some scary things.
But yeah, we'd like to thank you all, and thank you all for tuning in to PAM Time. It's great to have you.
Can't wait till she edits this program.
Me too. Can I get everybody? All around I hear your name, a sultry wind sings it like a game, whirling and swirling, my head begins to spin, a stinging blow, winter's breath will begin, broken apart, the love in my heart, each breath I take stops in mid-break. I think this can't be real. It's a mistake. We've blown apart right from the start. Winter's breath, a storm I can't see, air I can't touch, and the whipping wind reminds me of you so much. Can't fight this feeling we were never meant to be. It's the price of love, and icy breath is the fee. Broken apart, the love in my heart, each breath I take stops in mid-break. I think this can't be real. It's a mistake. We've blown apart from the start. Winter's breath, loneliness and sorrow, emptiness and fear. Gotta change direction as the chill draws near. Alarms go off, it's time to walk away. Dare to step out, begin another new day. Next time I'll know to stop and listen to the breeze. Open my arms, let winter's breath set me free. Broken apart, the love in my heart, each breath I take stops in mid-break. I think this can't be real. It's a mistake. We've blown apart from the start. Winter's breath, broken apart, the love in my heart, each breath I take stops in mid-break. I think this can't be real. It's a mistake. We've blown apart right from the start. Winter's breath. Jack George, Vandy Wright, and all the people here at the Hudson Valley Conservatory. That's 35 East Main Street in Walden, New York. Samuel E. Wright's wandering around here somewhere too, one of the business owners. We'd like to thank Jack for sharing his expertise on the radio industry and the entertainment industry and television industry. And we'd like to welcome him back again. So thank you for tuning in. Tap into the performing arts in your community. Goodbye and good night.
No,
Welcome,
goodbye.
Wade.
Bye. Oh my
There he is.
God.